A very good evening to all. Uh, as Anand has said, I was very curious when my own sister wrote a book, and I was very curious to know whether I feature somewhere in it. And I couldn't miss this opportunity to question Tai, as I've been calling her all my life. I couldn't miss this opportunity to question her in front of so many people. So Tai, how does it feel to be an author, finally?
Feels good, but right now I'm very nervous.
And why is that? Why are you so nervous?
It's like whenever you're doing something for the first time and in front of so many people, you tend to be nervous. I mean, there's excitement, but there's always some nervousness.
And could it also be because there are two renowned authors in the family?
I don't think that makes me nervous. It's great to have them to guide me. They have been guiding me, they've been supporting me. The book I have written, they have reviewed multiple times, given me multiple feedbacks, and there's been a lot of back and forth with them. And if it hadn't been for them, I don't think I would have reached this stage where, I'm getting published. So I don't think that is making me nervous.
Would you like to call it a critical feedback from them?
Lot of critical feedback. But if it hadn't been for that, I don't think I would be here.
So what made you write this book? Why a mystery?
The idea was not really to write a mystery per se. I started thinking about writing people the way they are different, in the sense they have different facets. You get to know somebody at work and you think you know this person really well. And then at some point you see that person with a different, in a different setup, maybe with his family or her family or some other group, some other setting. And the person is completely different. And you wonder if you ever really knew the person. And those kind of facets are very interesting, I thought. And I wanted to write about many people and their many facets. And why would one book have so many different, personalities showcasing their different sides, unless and until there was somebody who was trying to find out these different sides. And that's why I got in a detective to, talk to people and find their different sides. And then since I made it investigation, to make that investigation more interesting, I made it a murder investigation. So that's why it became a mystery, really.
Okay, now who all feature? I mean, you talked about various facets of people and different kind of behavior, right? So who are the people whom you have, taken references from? Are there any particular people here?
There are some, but I don't want to name. No, you are not there, thankfully. There are, actually I have mixed a lot of people into one person. I have seen different sides of different people, combine them to make another person. There are only couple of people who are there as they are. And they will know it themselves. They're all good people in the book. There are no villains who are an exact pickup from anywhere. So if you read the book and if you think you are like somebody and that person is a good person, then you likely are that person. But if that person is a villain, then no, it's not you.
Okay, now you have two detectives, right? One, the lead detective is a gentleman from Delhi, and there's a lady detective from Mumbai, right? Okay, now why do you have this lead detective from Delhi? Is it because he's very soft and very polished and such people can hail only from Delhi?
No, I don't think that. The reason he's from Delhi is, see, the case is closed and it's reopened because of political connections. And it's opened from New Delhi, and somebody who's got it opened knows this person and brings him in. And that's why the person comes from Delhi. That's the background. And when somebody comes from another place in India, it also brings in diversity, which I definitely wanted in my novel. I didn't want it to be, I mean, I wanted it a Pune-based novel, Pune-based story, but I wanted the diversity. So that's why I brought people from outside in the story.
And with these two detectives, you also have an inspector who's also quite interesting, quite charming. And both the gentleman, the detective from Delhi and this police inspector, both of them are vying to get attention from the lady detective, Ishani. Okay? So why do you have this competitive kind of a romantic scenario set in?
Actually, that just happened in the sense they both of them just started liking Ishani. I hadn't started writing with the intention of making them like her. The intention was for Neil and Ishani to get to know each other. But when the inspector came into picture, he just started liking Ishani.
So Ishani seems to be all the things that a modern woman would want to be. Is that character based on somebody you know? Maybe me?
Definitely not you. She is somebody that I would have liked to be like. You know, starting from her physical characteristics, she's tall. Uh, you know, right from there, she's very smart. She's witty. She, doesn't get easily deterred by things. She's not scared of things. She's everything. She's very focused on her work. While she's interested in Neil, she can keep that aside and stay focused on work to the extent that sometimes it annoys him. So that is something that I would have liked to be like. So Ishani is somebody, it's a completely fictional character, not based on anyone, but she's like my ideal woman. While the woman who's dead, the people talk about how she was an idealist, she was perfectionist, she was blunt, she was too honest sometimes. That perception is, I would say, what people thought about me at work many times. So
That is also my perception of you. Quite critical, blunt, very honest, and always very supportive.
So that I don't see myself that way, but people see me that way, and that's what I have written.
Okay, now Ishani falls in love with Neil, and Neil is also married. So why do you have this extramarital angle?
Why? I mean, it just happened again. They got interested, and I wasn't sure whether it was going to go anywhere really. The story is more about it's a mystery about this dead woman who's, they're trying to figure out what happened. But I also wanted to make it a story about the detective or the investigator, because then it's more interesting. If it's being investigated from outside, I felt that a reader would be more interested, more involved if the story was also about the protagonist story. And that's why I wanted it to be the detective story also. And then from there, having a lead, a male and a female lead was a very easy step, because the way I have been interested in mystery or crime or thrillers, I've also been interested in romances. And so this was a very natural thing for me to write, a lead pair getting to know each other. And then for a person who's, he's not a young 25-year-old, he's 37 years old, the detective. And it's very natural for somebody at that age to be married. So that's why he's married, really.
And the plot that you have set the novel on, and a lot of things that happen. Have you seen any of such things happening while you worked in the software industry?
Actually, no. I have written in the book about a lot of wrong things that people are doing. There are some scams happening, stuff like that. I have not seen any of that in any of the companies I have worked. And one of the things people have always said is that the IT industry is a very clean industry, and that's been my experience. But I have wondered what is possible, and that is what I have written really.
And while wondering, did you also wonder how the investigation will happen, the logical sequence, or did you talk to some investigators who actually work on such cases?
No, I have read a lot of mysteries, and I have seen how they're logically concluded and so on. Moreover, while I was writing, I did a lot of rewriting. I got it reviewed, and actually my parents helped me a lot, saying, how can this happen? If this has happened, how can this happen? That kind of logical sequencing they did. They gave me so much feedback that I kept rewriting, and finally I came to a point where where we are today.